On today's show, VW's diesel scandal is driving interest in propane, and Porsche invests heavily to build an all-electric sports car, and why GM will ship Chinese Buicks to the US. All that and more coming right up on Autoline Daily. This is Autoline Daily for December 7th of 2015. We knew Volkswagen and its many car brands would start doing things to take people's minds off its diesel cheating scam. Now Porsche confirms it's moving ahead with its all-electric Mission E, a vehicle it first showed back in September. It will invest 700 million euros at its plant in Germany to build a new paint shop and assembly plant, as well as expand its engine factory and body shop. Look for it by the end of the decade. And make no mistake about it, customers are furious with VW, and that may be damaging the appeal of diesels in Europe. According to Autogas, a joint venture between Shell and Calor in the UK that provides propane for vehicles, interest from drivers and fleet operators to convert their vehicles to LPG has more than doubled since the VW scandal broke. Vehicles running on liquid propane emit about 80% less nitrogen oxide and about 98% less particulates compared to diesels. But there's more than one way to reduce your carbon footprint. FCA announced that it will convert its parts hauling truck fleet to run on compressed natural gas. It previously ran on diesel fuel. The $40 million investment will help convert its 179 truck fleet to run on CNG and, among other things, also includes a $5 million on-site CNG station. With the move, FCA expects a net fuel cost savings of 35% a year. Coming up next, John will give you his Autoline insight about GM's move to import Chinese-made crossovers into the American market.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, your journey, our passion, and by Dow Automotive Systems, breakthrough technologies for lightweight vehicles.
Buick is floundering in the U.S. market. Sales are down 3% for the year, and last month they fell more than 9%. Its passenger cars, the Verano, the Regal, and the LaCrosse are nailed to the showroom floor. Only its crossovers are selling well, the Encore and the Enclave. So clearly, Buick needs more crossovers, and now it's going to get one, the Envision. But it is going to be imported from China, and that is causing a lot of controversy. The UAW called it, and I quote, a slap in the face. Others said it was terrible that the U.S. government bailed out GM only to have it turn to China for new products. Here's my Autoline insight. Buick will probably sell somewhere between 40 and 50,000 of the Envisions in the American market. That's not a lot of sales volume. In China, Buick will probably sell triple that amount. When you add it all together, the plant in China will build about 200,000 of these CUVs a year. That is enough volume to justify tooling it up. If you tried to build it in the U.S. only, the tooling costs would kill you at that U.S. volume. I suppose they could import all the stampings and moldings from China and assemble it in the U.S., but shipping those panels would be very expensive. You cannot pack them together tightly, and so you end up shipping a lot of air. Plus, they'd be prone to getting damaged. Keep in mind that the Envision was designed, engineered, and developed in the United States. And that generates far more economic benefit than merely assembling it here. So, importing cars from China may be controversial to some people, but to me, from a business standpoint, makes all the sense in the world. Besides, in a few years' time, importing vehicles from China will be as common as importing them from Japan and Germany, Korea, Mexico, England, Sweden, Italy, and a number of other countries. So what do you think? Where do you come down on this? I would like to hear your opinion. And speaking of that Envision, we got some of the specs. It sits on a 107.9-inch wheelbase. That's a little bit bigger than a Lincoln MKC and a little bit smaller than an Acura MDX. In the U.S. market, it'll be powered by a 2-liter turbo with stop-start that develops 252 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. It'll also have a 6,800 RPM redline, and that's far more than what you would expect from a vehicle like this. For Buick, this will also be the first time it uses a twin-clutch 6-speed with all-wheel drive. Coming up next, Sean will be back to show you why Nissan is targeting individual buyers rather than fleet buyers when it launches its Titan XD.
For the people at Dow, racing is a sport and a science. We enjoy one and learn from the other. But like most competitive people, we like winning at both. This is the human element at work. Dow.
Nissan considers its new Titan XD pickup truck to be a piece of its commercial vehicle division, but it first will target retail buyers rather than fleet. On last week's Autoline After Hours, we were joined by Phil O'Connor, the head of marketing at Nissan North America's truck and SUV division. In the following clip, he explains why they are using that strategy.
With the product that we're bringing out first, this XD with the Cummins diesel, that will largely be a personal use vehicle. Some of the iterations that we're bringing out a bit later are going to be very specifically designed for the commercial customer. So we are speaking to commercial customers at this point, but it's about the future iterations of the Titan that we're coming out with.
So this is for people who have horse trailers or Airstreams or boats that they're towing rather than someone who's towing commercial construction equipment?
No. It can be used for customers who tow commercial equipment as well. So one of the unique aspects in this market is that you will see customers, a commercial customer may buy a Platinum Reserve because they own their company and they will use it for both. So this and we'll have a work truck trim for the XD diesel. I'm not suggesting we won't, but out of the gate it will be primarily personal use. There'll be some commercial business, and then the commercial business will really ramp up as we bring in other iterations of the truck.
So you'll be at county fairs, you'll be at what? How are you going to get to these individuals?
So yes, we certainly have a plan to be a lifestyle plan. So we'll be at grassroots events and things of that nature. Very heavily reliant on digital and targeted marketing as well. And there will be some broad reach media that we're planning as well. That'll play less of a role early and more of a role later. But we're planning all of those tactics.
There's a lot more info about the development of the new Titan XD in that show, so make sure you check that out on our website or on our YouTube channel. And speaking of After Hours, make sure you tune in this Thursday because our guest will be Robert Davis, the Senior Vice President of U.S. Operations for Mazda North America. He'll bring a CX-3 with him to the studio. So get the inside view of how Mazda does its product planning this Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on our website, Autoline.tv. But that wraps up today's show. Thanks for watching, and join us again tomorrow for the latest news in the automotive industry.